The Forgotten God. This tale begins with thunder, but not the kind that heralds a storm. No, it was the deep, rumbling sound of Zeus's weary yawn after a long and arduous day. The god of thunder, exhausted from his ceaseless reign, let out a breath so powerful it shook Olympus itself. And as the skies trembled beneath him, Hera, queen of the gods, lay asleep beside him. In her dreams, consumed by jealousy and delusion, she turned from her husband. In this dreamscape, her arms clutched an imagined child whom she loved with a maternal depth. This was no real child, but a figure born of her deepest fears and illusions, a phantom in her sleep. When the gods awoke, they carried on without their divine duties as if the night had passed with no significance. Yet, something had changed, something unnoticed, something small and soft stirred in the silence between them. A presence, barely a breath, a faint tremor in the air. This is the story of the forgotten god, born of a dream, of a yawn, of a moment since lost. A child, born not of flesh, but of dream and breath, followed her divine parents through the clouds of Olympus. She moved swiftly and silently, a figure too delicate to be noticed, trailing behind them like a shadow without the sun to cast it. Her voice was as quiet as a breeze, softer than the faintest murmur of the wind. She cried out, but no answer came. Once, Zeus, lost in his duties, thought he heard something. Perhaps it was the wind, perhaps the whisper of a great storm brewing beyond the horizon. But he paid no mind to it, for he was far too absorbed in his responsibilities to give it attention. The child, undeterred, followed her mother with boundless hope. Day after day, year after year, waiting for the moment when Hera would turn and recognize her, when the embrace of a mother's love would finally reach her. But that moment never came. Slowly, the child's hope began to fade, her wonder dimming like a star swallowed by the night. She became a forgotten thing, a silent echo of something that might have been, but is not. Morpheus, god of dreams, could not see her, for she did not dwell in the vivid, living dreams that he spun. She existed only in the forgotten corners of the mind, in the places where dreams fade. The realms of the unconscious were her home, a place where even the sharpest of gods could not tread. The mighty Hermes himself, with his power to pass between worlds and realms, could not cross the threshold into her domain. One day, Hecate, goddess of magic and the unseen, a figure whose realm transcends the boundaries of life and death, made a journey to Olympus. She was drawn by a feeling she could not place, a sense that something was there, something both ancient and elusive. As she moved through the halls of the gods, she felt a faint presence, a lingering weight in the air. It was not living, nor was it dead. It was something in between. Hecate, who was accustomed to the unseen, who walked the borderlands of existence, paused, sensing this strange force that defied understanding. Feeling an odd compulsion, she raised her voice and declared, "Whatever this force is, leave me to my duties at once, for even I cannot see you. You are a presence that slips beyond my gaze, hidden in the places where nothing exists and everything is forgotten." The child wept. She wept in pain and longing, with no hope of being seen. And do not forget, this is a daughter of Zeus. Her tears summoned perpetual storms. As they fell from Olympus, they crashed into the mortal world below. The sea rose, rivers swelled, and the earth trembled in ways that even Zeus could not explain. Those struck by her tears went mad, haunted by memories of lives they'd never lived, childhoods not their own, lovers never met, phantoms that distorted their grasp of reality. Her sorrow flowed through rivers, and soon every drop of water held the faintest trace of her presence. As mortals drank, they unknowingly invited déjà vu into the world, unquenchable feelings that something has happened before, feelings that defy logic yet are achingly true. But not all was terrible. From her tears came insight, sudden inspiration, rare and radiant, which mortals came to cherish. After seemingly endless years of suffering, she left Olympus and wandered among mortals, unseen and unheard, until one night, within the dreaming minds of humankind, she discovered a strange and gentle warmth. She watched children imagine worlds no one had ever shown them, realms of floating cities, talking trees, and ideas inspired by forgotten lullabies. They spoke to invisible friends with ancient names, and drew creatures from stories that had never been told. She listened in silence as poets stirred before sunrise, scribbling verses that teemed with a beauty older than language, as if the memories of lost eras clung to their tongues. Scholars turned in their sleep, muttering theories they had never read, waking with revelations etched in their minds like echoes from another life. Artisans awoke with designs only the gods could have whispered, engravings, sculptures, and mechanisms no mortal had ever dreamed of spurred to life. Innovators opened their eyes with ideas shining behind them, things they could not explain, for they had seen them only at the glimmering edge of sleep. In secret, she presses her fingers gently to our minds, giving us glimpses of what almost was, or what might yet be. And it is here, where the God who has no name smiles, unseen, for in these moments she is not forgotten. She is a whisper between waking and dreaming, a hidden muse in the cracks of consciousness. She is not prayed to, not worshipped. No temples bear her image, no hymns of her story are sung. Even the name her mother, the great goddess Hera, had whispered in her sleep is lost. And yet, she is still present. She lingers in the quiet spaces of the mind. Every time you wake with a wonderful idea, every flash of déjà vu that makes the world shimmer with strangeness, she is there, in your fleeting thoughts, the dreams you forget upon waking, the emotions that cling without explanation. She walks beside you, unseen, the forgotten God.